Now, before I start this video, you may have noticed that there is like no intro to my channel in some way, and this is for a different interaction. This video is going to be a bit serious in a lot of cases. Also, before I go, there will be mentions of discussing subject matters that may not be appropriate for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoy.
Danger.
Hey guys, my name is JiroBoy, and now usually I will say and welcome to another video, or I'll explain how I'm gonna react to a different video. I'm going to explain and la-di-da, Bob's your uncle kind of situation. However, this video is a bit more serious. This reaction in this video is a bit more serious, and like the subject matter that we're gonna deal with. So let me explain a bit. The video we're going to be reacting to is called Addressing the Allegations made by Yandere Dev. I could give explaining on what really actually going on, but I'm actually planning to explain a lot of that in the Explain and Disprove the Yandere Dev drama, even though it was originally supposed to end right there. But since this drama happened, I'm going to have to bring it back and actually explain a lot more on what's really going on. So I'll give a long story short that he was accused around September 25th, I believe. No, he was getting accused of allegations, literally allegations that I can't explain on YouTube kind of thing. Now, I have not actually watched this video yet, so and I know sometimes I actually do have a really hard time to speak. That's why I kind of started time. Now, the drama that happened, even especially throughout the 3 months, I will actually explain a bit more, at the end of the video, and I'll explain a bit more on my final thoughts after I finish up the part 10 of the series that I made as well. So anyway, nothing talking. Let's just go watch the video. And to know before I do, if you are sensitive to subject matters that we're going to explain in this video, I advise that you actually watch a different video. So anyway, let's get started.
Hello, I'm Yandere Dev, the developer of Yandere Simulator. Last year, an extremely serious allegation was made about me that I would like to address. The accusation is that I attempted to an underage fan of my game. I will take accountability and admit that I did discuss inappropriate topics with a fan. However, the accusation that I deliberately attempted to this fan is false. In this video, I would like to apologize for what I feel I should apologize for, but I would also like to give you the full story so that you know what is true and what isn't true. Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, there was a lot of debates about
contacted me and wanted to chat. Usually when a fan tries to talk with me, I just tell them that I'm too busy. But this person seemed really nice and friendly and funny, so I decided, you know what, sure, let's talk. She let me know right off the bat that she was 16, but I didn't see any problem with that. When I was 16, I had online friends that were in their 20s and 30s, so it just didn't feel weird to me. In the beginning, our conversations were normal, but she had a kind of adult sense of humor, and every now and then she would bring up a topic or ask a question that wasn't really appropriate. When this would happen, I wasn't entirely comfortable with it, but I rationalized to myself that it was no big deal and just kept talking with her. Eventually, I must have said something that sounded like a red flag.
I accidentally dropped something. I apologize for that.
She started to record our conversations just in case I turned out to be some kind of She showed our conversations to a YouTuber, and the YouTuber decided, yep, this guy seems like a we need to expose him. From what I've been hearing, it kind of sounds like the YouTuber started coaching the girl on how to manipulate me into saying things that would make me look bad, which wasn't what the girl wanted. But you don't have to just take my word for it.
I knew something's fishy's going on
about the entire situation, giving her side of the story. I've put a link to it in the description below.
Yeah, I'll also explain a bit of that same dialogue in my own video as well.
Draw your own conclusions. So, with the YouTuber apparently instructing the girl on how to steer our conversations in an inappropriate direction, our discussions got pretty weird. I wasn't comfortable with it, and I tried to express that, but like an idiot, I just went along with it anyway. Because I had gotten into the habit of being really candid around this girl and just casually responding to whatever she said, it was very easy for her to get recordings of me answering questions I shouldn't have answered and discussing topics I should not have discussed. And the YouTuber then used those recordings to make a 40-minute long video accusing me of being a Out of respect for all of the people in the world who have actually been we should use the word correctly.
Yes, I know.
Is when an adult tries to establish a relationship with a child with the intention of exploiting or abusing the child.
Yeah, I'll actually explain that more in my explaining and disproving the drama.
I didn't develop a friendship with the girl for that reason. That wasn't my intention. I did not attempt to establish a romantic or sexual relationship with the girl. But after having my behavior explained to me as commonly associated with romance, I can understand how it was interpreted that way. I feel like it's worth mentioning that a lot of the remarks I made only sound bad when they're out of context.
For example,
there was one time when the girl jokingly said, "You should make an OnlyFans." And I said, "No, that's dumb. No one would ever want to see that." And she said something like, "Come on, it's so easy to make money on OnlyFans."
Also, for record, don't use OnlyFans. It's disgusting.
That's a little concerning. Don't tell me that social media is brainwashing this generation to think that they should just go directly into the second they turn 18 because it's the best way to get rich quick. That's a little concerning.
Yeah, I'll be as concerned if one of my fans actually say that.
Are you planning to start an OnlyFans? And of course, the YouTuber used the recording of me saying, "Are you planning to start an OnlyFans?" to frame me as someone who initiates horrifically inappropriate discussions with children.
That's horrible.
Which is just completely dishonest. There's a part of me that wants to go point by point down the list of every single
I knew Amy's doing something bad
and provide context for absolutely everything, but that's not really the main issue here. For one thing, a lot of the stuff I said is just weird no matter what the context is. I'll just admit it. But more importantly, I never should have let conversations like that happen in the first place. A normal, mentally healthy adult would have just blocked the girl immediately after the very first time she said something inappropriate. But I didn't. And having to face that fact was a wake-up call that made me realize I had deteriorated mentally. So, after this whole controversy happened, I decided to take some time to just reflect and try to figure out how I had turned into the type of person who would let something like this happen. After talking it over with a lot of different people, I think I've developed an understanding of exactly how things got to this point, and I think I have the vocabulary to explain it now, too. Over the past 10 years, I neglected absolutely every aspect of my well-being in favor of working on my video game project. I almost never left my house for any reason. I had no social life whatsoever, and I had no one that I could call a true friend.
Actually, I'll give a little bit of the story that
I was exhibiting
even though he's basically talking about it.
And I just ignored all of them.
When I actually request around that he should go to Otakon with me, he actually refused and said that he can't do it right now.
And ignoring all of the warning signs that were being given to me. When you neglect your psychological and social needs that badly for that long, you eventually become so desperate for social interaction and positive affirmation that you become willing to have inappropriate interactions you shouldn't be having, as long as it's fulfilling the social needs that have gone completely unmet for years.
That is sad.
Acknowledging all of this was step one.
Yeah.
Step two was determining what I would have to change about my life in order to repair the
Mental
damage
health
that I had
is
done to
just
my psyche over
as
the past
important as
10 years.
physical health. Always remember to take care of yourself.
I decided to just step back from game development for 3 months to just work on myself and try to develop a more healthy lifestyle. I started seeing a therapist. I started leaving my house and going outside and interacting with other human beings. I experimented with hobbies that don't involve the use of a computer screen. I found a much better work-life balance. And most importantly of all, I made friends. I developed a social life. I made meaningful connections with people my age. That made a bigger difference than anything else. I no longer feel so desperate for social interaction that I'd be willing to have inappropriate conversations just to fill some gap in my life. I feel like I've removed the weaknesses and vulnerabilities that enabled this entire situation to happen in the first place. It's worth mentioning that sometime after this entire controversy started, 2 images started to circulate. These images are fake Discord screenshots depicting interactions between me and children that have never actually happened. These images were either created in Photoshop or made by an impersonator using my username and avatar.
That's
This isn't the way
horrible.
that people speak to other people. This is the way that you write dialogue when you're trying to make a comical image for the internet to laugh at.
I mean,
These are not
yeah.
real.
If you're claiming that is evidence, that's
Another piece of
horrible.
information I would like to address would be the claim that I was ing this girl ever since she was 9 years old. That's not true. Apparently, she sent me an email 7 years ago. I'm assuming it was just typical fan mail. I always respond to every fan who contacts me, so I must have replied
Yeah.
and said something like, "Hey, thanks for your kind words.
Yeah,
Glad
I
you
understand
liked the game."
that. As a content creator,
But
I
just
can
the
speak
fact
that as
She
well.
had contacted me when she was 9, and then later she contacted me again last year, somehow magically transformed into a narrative that I had been grooming her for 7 years straight. No, that's not what happened.
Really, how
That's just
dumb
something that
are you
people made up.
people? Do you really believe that?
But even though I didn't harm a child, even though I didn't traumatize or victimize anyone, I do feel that I've made mistakes that I need to apologize for.
Yeah.
I allowed myself to deteriorate into a person who was making horrible decisions on a regular basis that not only harmed me, but also the people around me. By making some incredibly stupid and careless remarks during conversations I should not have been having, I created a huge, completely unnecessary scandal and made myself into a figure who is so controversial that people are afraid to be associated with me or have any kind of connection to my game. As a result, people who enjoyed contributing to the project had to quit. YouTubers who enjoyed playing the game had to stop. Companies had to sever all ties with me. And a lot of fans were deeply hurt and upset.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
And
for having stupid, inappropriate conversations I never should have had. I'm sorry for neglecting myself until I created problems for everyone around me. I'm sorry to all of the people who I ignored when they warned me countless times that my behavior was becoming more and more self-destructive. And I'm also sorry for one other thing. After this whole controversy started, people started targeting anyone associated with me or my project for harassment. People even targeted the girl that I spoke to, spreading misinformation about her and
goodness.
spamming her with horrible images.
Why?
It's one thing to screw up your own life, but it's another thing entirely to screw up so badly that you bring hate and abuse and harassment into the lives of others just for being associated with you.
Yeah, don't ever do
I am deeply sorry
do
for
all that, all what these people against him are
I just
doing.
hope
That's
you
just
can find it in your
evil.
heart to forgive me. Well, now that I've owned up to what I did wrong and established that I'm not a groomer, where do we go from here? Well, I don't think that 3 months of self-care are enough to magically fix every flaw I've ever had. I'm sure I still have plenty of room for self-improvement, but
I mean, everyone does.
I'm doing a lot better mentally now than I was before. And I think I'm ready to get back to work. I'm going to continue releasing updates for the game, and I'm going to continue releasing videos on my secondary channel. I understand that there's probably going to be less people contributing to the game, less people playing the game, and less people supporting the game, but I just have to live with that.
I mean, sadly, only time can
what kind
really
of
tell.
numbers I have, whether it's views or downloads or income or anything else, I'm still going to keep working on the game. It's too important to me for me to ever give up on it.
I mean, yeah, 10 years of your life working on this game.
Simulator and the future of the project, but that's not what you clicked this video for. So I'm just going to write all of that in a blog post and link to it in the description down below. Just in case
Also,
it wasn't
I'll check
already
that
clear, I just want to firmly state that I don't blame the girl for anything that happened. And I don't want anyone to harass her or make fun of her in the comments section.
Yeah,
or anything
it ain't
like
really her fault
so if that's what you're
at
planning
all.
on doing, don't.
Yeah, please don't.
Over
That's
the years,
horrible.
there have been a lot of other controversies as well. Some of them I never addressed at all, and others I attempted to address, but I just mishandled it and botched it and made things even worse. So eventually, I'd like to make a video, kind of like this one, where I actually address those past controversies properly. I can't guarantee when it will happen, but it is something that I do want to do in the future. With that said, there is one false accusation that I think is relevant enough to address now rather than later.
Okay.
I don't want this to turn into a long, rambling video, so I'll make this quick. There are a lot of people who are under the impression that I advocate for abolishing the age of consent and replacing it with a license.
Oh yeah, I did acknowledge that.
No,
I actually did
that is not
acknowledge
true.
that too.
10 years ago, in 2014, I had a debate with someone about whether or not age should be the sole determining factor in deciding whether or not to judge someone as an adult. I argued that just because someone has blown out an arbitrary number of candles on their birthday cake, that doesn't necessarily guarantee that they are competent enough to make certain life-changing decisions.
I mean, yeah, I'm 20 years
you wanna
old and
drive
I
a
don't
car,
know if I'm ready.
You have to pass a driving exam and earn a driver's license.
That's what I
So
said
thought,
in
what
my
if it
own
worked the
channel.
same way with becoming an adult? What if there was
Yes.
some sort of exam or test that you had to pass in order to be recognized as an adult and authorized to make certain purchases and decisions?
That's what I said
Well,
in my
if you think about
in
it for
my
like 2
fifth
seconds,
episode
you can
of the
immediately
explaining
identify like a
the
million
drama.
problems with that concept. And that's because it's not an idea that I put any thought into. It's not some deeply held personal belief that I will die defending. It was just a random hypothetical thought experiment I came up with 10 years ago while I was being contrarian towards someone in an argument. But sadly, that's just one of dozens of random offhand remarks I've made over the years that have been screenshotted and used to paint a completely inaccurate picture of who I am and what beliefs I hold. So I think that when I eventually make a video to address past controversies properly, I should also clear up a lot of misinformation and misunderstandings as well.
Yeah.
For now, though, I've said everything that I wanted to say. Thank you for your time, and thank you for being willing to hear me out.
Alright. Now, this is where I will usually explain or I say that will be the end of this video and hope you guys enjoy. However, since I did mention that this video is different and it's meant to be like a bit more serious than this one, so this thing I'm gonna explain on like a bit more. So I'm now on the Yandere Simulator development blog. And what I'm going to read through is the reporting the allegations and the future of the projects. And a lot right here, he even says right this and a lot of other stuff. Now you need to read this like here. Great news. He's not actually a what you know what it is. So it's okay to work with him again. And you see right on the other side here. Now, if you want, I'll actually link this blog and the link in the description below to actually try to explain a bit. Well, no, he does say that he will not use like AI voice acting and stuff. I mean, which is good. I kind of don't really approve of the AI working in a situation like that. Now, this is the one I actually do want to explain a bit more. Would you still hold the crowdfunding campaign? Now he'd say, if it continues to believe that he is this monster, it may not. There ain't a point to hold a crowdfunding campaign because it won't get enough support. Now, I think he can make a crowdfunding campaign, but I think it's just a matter of time on whether or not if he could do it or not. So yeah, and later explain about other stuff that happened as well in any situation like that. So yeah, and so I'm going to have to end the video right here. Now I want you guys to share this video to anyone who has been affected by this drama. Now I'll actually explain me. When I hear like this drama, I was actually warned of like Amy's video before like the whole thing went falling down. I expect the people to take it seriously and not to jump into conclusions or what happened recently. However, I never expect the damages to be this bad. I would expect to be like some of the dramas that happened a lot recently. You see, like the DID or the Watashi Somoto drama, or even the Dr. ABS drama on the love letter situation and whatever like that. But by me just seeing a lot of people are just betraying each other, being mean, hurting each other's, spiting each other's, and as well as trying to also hurting me as well. Since honestly, this is the first time I actually went into a YouTube drama. Now, the explaining the drama, I actually was not involved in those dramas. This one is the only time that I was involved into a drama, and it sucks. It affects me mentally, and I could simply to a really bad degree, which is also one of the reasons why the video has become slow around October and as well as November. And as well as and in some cases December as well. So yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys can leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Yandere Dev, if you are watching this, I forgive you. Even though I did explain that I'm not mad, I'm just a little bit disappointed. I think he could handle it a bit better. I think he should watch what he say when he's talking to anyone. And stuff like that. But I have no good reason to hold a grudge on anyone. Now, I did explain that I do have a lot of hurt. Now, I didn't quite explain, since that even though all that is back then, neutral ground, I'm actually glad that he took it in this direction rather than the hate and shame possibility. Even though I think the hate and shame video does explain a lot how toxic and evil the people against them are, but I think I like it when he makes like this. It shows that he is being honest about it. Anyway, I'm going to have to end the video right there. My name is JiroBoy, and I hope you guys take care of yourself.